Hi again. This video is mainly about pedestrian crossings. We've come across a few in the other lessons or in the other videos, but I'm just going to drive along Worthing seafront and see what happens at the pedestrian crossings until we get to the pier, or maybe a bit beyond. Anyway, the general idea from a driver's point of view is to be looking for button pushers on the right and on the left, and also monitoring the traffic flows from both sides, because once people push the button, the cameras are operated, the pressure pads are operated, and the cameras or the pressure pads will work out when best to change the lights so that it doesn't cause too much disruption and no one has to stop too quickly. Okay, so if there's not many cars coming towards us and there's a big gap in front of us and someone pushes the button, then the lights will probably change straight away. But if there's lots of cars coming the other way but a big gap at our side, then the lights probably won't change. But you can't always guarantee it, so you've got to be on your toes and ready to stop. Anyway, let's go. Checking all my mirrors. I'm already in first gear. I've got the handbrake ready. I'm looking over my shoulders. Everything's good. So it's handbrake, signal, and off we go. Little road narrows sign there saying that the pedestrian crossing's been built out a little bit. Changing into third, nice and clear. Now there's a cyclist going up to the first one here, but they've just crossed the road without pushing the button. So these lights shouldn't change. These zigzag lines on the road either side, if you remember, mean no parking and no overtaking, because that would be silly to do at a pedestrian crossing. These lines in the middle of the road, you can see hatch markings, are there to protect people waiting to turn right into side roads, and also to separate the traffic, and also it makes the road look smaller so people don't speed up too much. Now the next lights are red. The people are crossing. Once they've got onto the pavement, you can generally count to 5 seconds and the lights will change. Those lights did change. There's no more button pushers except for the guy on the bike, but I think it's going to be too late if he presses it now, so I'm going to continue. So let's continue. I'm doing about 25-30 miles an hour. It's a nice sunny day along Worthing seafront. Quite a few people out, all keeping 2 meters from each other, hopefully. There's a guy here doing a U-turn. That's another thing you have to watch out for on wide roads. Took his opportunity, wasn't too bad, so we forgive him. Now the next pedestrian crossing, I'm looking ahead. I don't know how well you can see this on the camera, but there are people waiting on the left hand side. You will be able to see this if you're driving. The bus is waiting in the middle. Although he's signalling, it's my priority, so I'm going to continue, but I'm having the brake ready just in case these lights change. And they didn't change, so I've now gone back to the accelerator to continue. But they could easily have changed, in which case I'd have needed to continue braking and also put the clutch down quickly to the floor so we didn't stall. Okay, other little things along here to notice. I've got a cyclist to overtake. I can see there's a lady on the right, but she's not quite at the button yet. I can't see to the left, so I'm coming off the power, having a little look. It seems okay, and also I can get past the bike while he's closer to the curb. The road is getting slightly narrower, so I'm just going to go slow a little bit. I'm doing about 20 miles an hour now. Still in third gear, just about. You may have to go to second, but the traffic eased up there, so I managed to stay in third. Now we've got temporary roadworks here. You can see there's a temporary roadwork sign, just blocked by that red car. There's a traffic light sign, and the road narrows on the right. And it tells me it's single file traffic, and it tells me where to stop. So I'm just going to stop behind this car. The clutch has gone down and I'm going into gear number 1. Now it's a question of whether I put the handbrake on now, and I'm going to put the handbrake on because we are waiting. There's cars coming towards us, so they're obviously on a green, so the handbrake has just gone up, and I'm sitting there waiting with my handbrake ready and my hand on the steering wheel, and just keeping my eyes moving. I'm looking in the mirrors every now and again to see what's behind. My eyes are coming back to the traffic lights. I'm waiting for the lights to change. Monitoring, there's no cars coming the other way at the moment, so their light may have gone red and our light's just gone green, so we can handbrake off, check the mirrors and pull away. And it doesn't tell us it's a 3-way or 4-way, so we're assuming it's a 2-way set of traffic lights. There's a little sign here that tells me the roadworks has ended, and there's some police coming towards me, so always look innocent. Now, next pedestrian crossing, there's nobody there, but my eyes have gone next to the bus to see whether the bus is indicating. The bus is not indicating at the moment, so he's going to stay there, which means I can continue, and then my eyes can look for the next pedestrian crossing, where also there's no one on the left, there's no one on the right. There's a motorbike that's come up rather quickly, and we've let him go. And we've got a 20 zone now, and the lights ahead are red, so when the people have crossed the pavement, crossed the road rather onto the pavement, the lights should change, and they did. Now the roundabout I'm going to go straight on, so I'm going to use the brake, push the clutch down, go to second, and watch those two white cars on the right and anybody else that turns up. They look like they're going straight on, so I'm going to continue. And then I'm going to check my mirrors, signal to come off, because the blue car needs to know where I'm going. There's no pedestrian crossings, but there's lots of buses. There's one that's just pulled out, so I'm going to just go mega slow. I'm down to 15, nearly 10 miles an hour. Bus has gone, the road has widened out, so there's no buses indicating or anything. And I'm going to turn left where it says through traffic. There's a pedestrian crossing as well. There's nobody there. So it's quite a sharp corner, so I'm just going very, very slowly, steering quickly around. And it's a one-way street, you can see the sign as I went past. And I'm going to pull in on the right-hand side. So I'm checking my mirrors, signalling right, and just drifting over to the right-hand side. I'm pulling up in a space. Clutch has gone down, rolling along for a couple of car lengths until I got it nice and straight, and then stopping smoothly. So my foot was very steady on the brake throughout the whole thing. Handbrake up, back to neutral, cancel the signal, feet off the pedals. See you on the next one.